Good morning. I snuck into the back now to do our advent calendar because the store is crazy busy today. It's like right after the store opened and I've been interrupted 4 times doing this video. So I'd love that, but I also want to make sure I do the video. So today's item is monk's cloth, and I want to just talk quickly about why monk's cloth is important. So I'll read the card first. Monk's cloth is an even weave cotton fabric, meaning an equal number of threads in the warp and the weft. This quality cloth allows punch needles to slide easily through and then hold your stitches in place. Use an erasable pen to trace off your pattern in the center of the monk's cloth, leaving room for hooping if you're raring to get started. Okay, so we got a pattern yesterday. So for a long time, 5 years, monk's cloth has been a little bit difficult to get. If you didn't have a stash of it already, then you were SOL. We've been ordered it a few times and gotten all kinds of crazy stuff that wasn't an even weave fabric. So what does that mean? An even weave fabric has identical fibers situated on a north-south and an east-west, or an X and Y axis, so that you can punch 3 times by 3 times and get a square. Fabric that is not even weave, if you went 3 by 3, there is a chance that instead of a square, you'll get a rectangle. You may also get something that skews. And when we are working on something mathematical, especially with any of these punch crafts, like cross stitch, those kinds of crafts, it's really, really important that we work with quality materials and well-executed tools so that we get a consistent result, and that we get what we're looking for. For example, knitters who have too much tension, like me, in their hands, when they knit, will end up with something that doesn't measure what it's supposed to measure. And so you have to stop and you have to grade and you have to adjust, and that's something we do. And we do that in quilting, where we check our 1/4 inch seam, and we do it in garments where we check our 5/8 seam or check the stretch of a fabric. Those are all things that we have to do. And so one of the things we do as punch needle experts is we use an even weave cloth, because it's going to make things that are supposed to be square be square. So this very special piece of cloth is monk's cloth, and it's different from using a linen, and you will see that the fabric, so we've given you far more fabric than you need for this particular project, so that you can get the grid the way you want it, which is probably just going to be square on your grid, that you'll be able to punch things and have a consistent result. Now, the other thing about the monk's cloth is getting the size, and this cloth is nice so that when your needle goes through, it's going to pass easily and it's going to come back out. And I'm just presuming that in the next couple of days there's going to be a needle. But for now, what you want to do is you can either wait until you get all the products together, which is going to be like a little bit more satisfying, or you could use your pattern that you got yesterday. You can trace off the design onto the monk's cloth, and you want to get it in the center of that piece of cloth so that you can hoop it easily. So yesterday's pattern, which is at the bottom of my box now because I've got a little bit organized. Here's the pattern. So yesterday's pattern, you will see this. And so what you want to do is you want to trace it off. And so use an erasable pen, or a water-soluble pen, or if you want to use a pencil, you can, and draw this hoop. So this is giving you some hoop markings. You do not have to go stitch by stitch to trace this part off, but get your tracings in place for the mitten. And then you can put the markings there so that you can hoop it. And then we wait for the next day. So that is, we're partway through a project here, and that monk's cloth is a very special inclusion into the project. So often when we're rustling a lot of paper, but often when we're working on a project, we get everything in one package. And so for the purposes of our advent calendar, we've stretched it out over a couple days. So that's exciting to actually have monk's cloth for this instead of just a piece of linen. Gold stars to the girls. Okay, so tomorrow is day 18, so we'll see you tomorrow.